How many Clarabelles did you buy
Oh,
in the beginning
I
of
put that whole $20 back into the prize pool. So then people actually have something to compete, like for store credit.
the spirit of competition and why this is called set championship? Oh, baby.
I'm waiting for the day the mill deck is good to go. Something that can just like take your whole new world and put it on the top of your deck and ready to play it.
16 different tools on
Right.
turn 3. And if I don't draw the best card for this, it's the alternate choice. Really that bad?
The 2-cost one?
Yeah.
So if that dies and I have a Perdita,
Yep.
bring it back. Now I can bounce something back to their hand.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? My name is Loremeister, and this is the Loremeisters podcast. For this week's episode, we are joined by the first place winner of Disney Lorcana Challenge in Toronto, Diego Zas. Diego was born and raised in Ontario, Canada. Been married for 2 years and together for 10 years with his wife, and have an 8-month-old son. He also works as an accountant at a tech company. He's always been a gamer since he was 4 years old. He got into competitive gaming at the age of 14 in a shooter game called Gears of War. But he didn't really get into card games until Hearthstone in 2015. Since then, he would reach legend rank every season, where he also got a few high rank finishes. He also decided to start actively competing in the official circuit in 2018. He traveled to a few major events and got a couple top cut finishes and has qualified for a regional. He was on and off in Hearthstone for a while and stopped entirely in 2022. During late 2023, he decided he wanted to get into paper TCG, and Lorcana was just releasing at the time, so he decided to hop in. He was a big grinder during the Pixel-born days, having finished rank number 3 on Hardcore Rank Ladder for the 2 seasons it was active. He also won and topped many local events, made top 16 cut for 3 out of 4 of Thea Beasties, the pack tournaments he played in. His hobbies are gaming, and that's it. Yeah, how's it going, everyone? We're finally here with Diego Zas. I am so excited to get this interview because I'm also super excited to pick his brain on what he is thinking for set 5. Because if you guys didn't know, Diego is the Ultra Megatonic champion of Toronto, where we were still in set 4, even though set 5 has been around, and it was a really weird meta as well, without Bucky on it. If you guys remember, let's forget about Bucky as well. But yeah, we're finally here. Diego, I'm so excited to get you here. How are you doing?
Yeah, finally excited. I'm excited too. It's been a while in the works to get this going, but yeah, definitely happy to be here.
Yeah.
Like your content is top notch in the Lorcana community right now. Like the quality, the editing, the amount of it, it's yeah, perfect. So I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for the kind words. If you guys didn't know, me and Diego has actually tried to make this happen before, but my computer, for some reason, keeps shutting down Discord, and we should have probably used a different call, but like this has been rescheduled multiple times. But I really wanted this to happen because Diego seems like a super nice dude, and also I want to pick his Ultra Megatonic brain for everyone. So let's go ahead and start with the fun stuff. Get to know you a little bit more before we hop on to the more competitive talks. So we're gonna start with how much do you actually collect when it comes to Lorcana? Do you buy a bunch of boxes, or do you just buy singles? How do we do this?
That's a good question. I'm a bit of a gambler, so I'm always waiting to buy like right off the bat I buy a case for each set, and then another box, a couple troves. And then I see where I'm at. I'm close to a big collection, and then I probably buy singles from there. But I'm also I like to be heavy invested in the secondary market. So I'm watching like all those YouTube channels that have the market watches. Shout out to Lurkana Goons. That's a big one I watch. And yeah, they're always like taking a look at trends, and actually being like a top player, I'm kind of setting those trends and like being there at ground zero. So I kind of see like, oh, that card's good. That's probably going to go to the moon. Let's buy a lot of these, use it as like trade value to trade for other cards, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I trade around that way. And yeah, right now my collection, I'm sitting on a lot of enchanteds, especially after winning the whole binder full of set 5.
Yeah.
I probably have like maybe 60 to 70 enchanteds overall right now.
Oh.
And yeah, it's a good collection, and it's kind of just been like trading around. And yeah, like I've been collecting since set 1, so it's I just finished set 1 enchanted too, so it's pretty nice.
Nice. That's very nice. Now here's my question, following up on what you just said.
Yeah.
If you were an ultra megatonic watcher of the market and being a competitor, you know exactly
Yeah.
what the good cards are. And I wanted to dabble on this before, and I should have, but I like what you already know, or what everyone knows who follows my channel, that I'm just so invested right now in content. I literally don't have time. If I have extra time, I put it on my family. But here's my question.
Yeah.
How many Clarabelles did you bought
Oh,
in the beginning
I
of
bought. I wasn't too greedy. I bought 12 regular, 4 foils, and 4 enchanted. So I
Nice.
didn't go too crazy.
Okay, because I had a talk with an LGS owner here before,
Yeah.
and I do my predictions as well, not with prices, but like with what I think is the best card for that color, for that set. And Clarabelle was my number 1 pick for Emerald this set. And
Yeah, definitely.
my friend who owns an LGS sold about 15-20 Clarabelles that was like 13 pounds, and it went all the way to 35-40 pounds right after,
Yeah.
like 1-2 weeks later. And I'm like, why are you not watching my videos? It's gonna be one of the best legendaries of the set. Like, what?
No. You have to be invested. You need to know like what the cards do. First of all, it has potential. It was inkable. That means 4 can fit in a deck easily. It's not like an uninkable card where you can only fit like 2 or 3. But yeah, like definitely that was one, and I got in like
And it doesn't die to Medusa.
Yeah, it doesn't die to Medusa, right?
Or banish.
It had all of it.
Yeah. The thing about Clarabelle is that if Clarabelle gets 1 draw, she's already valued. But
exactly,
she does more than that. Let's just be honest, and that's what makes her an ultra megatonic card. And the shift target is a really good card as well. The 1 cost that can take out items. Like for me, that was like, oh, this is like, we didn't just get a nice Floodborn for Clarabelle. We got a Floodborn that is ultra megatonic playable and has a very playable target, which is a lot of Floodborns struggle with. Like, beasts still don't have a good target, except for Morph.
Exactly.
Obviously, like Morph is like everyone's target, right?
Yeah.
But beasts still don't have a good target. Tinkerbell doesn't even have a good target. The other one is decent, the 2/4 that can discard and draw, but like she still doesn't have a good target.
Yeah, no, and like it's also, people need to respect it. If you're playing that 1 cost card and it's on board and you're going to turn 5, they're like, okay, maybe I have to brawl this 1 cost.
Yeah.
And now you're just getting extra value out of it. It's you have to respect it. So you don't shift Clarabelle onto it.
I'm getting mine Zeused.
Yeah, Zeus. Yeah, exactly.
That's how good and scary Clarabelle is. They're like, okay, we're going into turn 5. I don't have a singer, but I do have a Zeus in my hand. I'm not gonna let you draw 10 million cards off of me, so I'm gonna Zeus that. That's how scary that 1/2 body is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, no, definitely. I made some money from that. And then it just goes back into its cycle, get some more enchanted. It's it's a whole game.
It's gonna be ultra megatonic the next set, and this time as well. If they give me a card to reveal, like Daisy for last set.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna reveal it until the set is ready to come out. So I get to buy it. No, I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed
Insider
to do
trader.
that. I'll tell everyone that I interviewed for the podcast about it, but not reveal it to the public. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
good.
I'm not allowed to do that. Ravensburger, I will never do that. Don't take those cards away from me. My next question is, we're always curious how much our guests actually plays Lorcana with in terms of LGS stuff. Do you attend your LGS leagues or like tournaments around you?
Yeah, like I try to make an effort to go out once a week. So Friday nights, it's kind of like my night to go to LGS. It's a pretty decent turnout too. It can be anywhere from like 10 to 20 people. So it's not bad. And yeah, like I'll just play meme decks too. Like I'm not going in there like bringing the best of the best.
Yeah.
Um, I'll try everything and I'll just have fun with it. But yeah, and then set champs is coming up. So with the last set champs, it was a little less than the Stitch one, but this next one coming up, I'm planning on going to 3 out
Okay.
of 8 possible ones. But like, yeah, 3 is kind of near me. If I want to go to more, I would have to drive a bit, and it takes up a lot of days on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I'm planning to go to basically every single one I can possibly go
Oh, yeah?
to. I enjoy the community so much, and
Yeah.
the thing is like I'm lucky enough that this is my full-time job, that on those weekends I can actually like go to every single one of them and use it as content. But yeah, I do feel you on that, because at one point, like set 4, there was a lot of things that I was doing that didn't allow me to go to every single one. But this time I'm gonna go to every single one, and which is kind of sad, because it's the Mirabelle promo, and I'm going to every single one.
I know, right? Okay, listen, if it was a Clarabelle promo, I would have been on all 8, 9, 10 if I could find it. Yeah, but yeah, no, I do like competing. Like the competition's fun,
Yeah.
and yeah, you were there at the first ever store champ that just happened recently.
Yeah.
I have a question about that.
Uh-huh.
The mats. I know the mats from this recent set are like better quality.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed those ones. Is the Mirabelle mat similar? Do you know?
It's similar. Yeah. It looks
Oh,
a little
nice.
more vibrant and special because of the colors that they use. Like
Oh.
compared to the Ursula one. I'm pointing there so the people know that I have one. I'm just kidding.
This one right here.
But yeah, I think it's the colors that they use that makes this one look a bit more special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
But yeah,
Yeah.
everything else looks the same. My only like comment was like, okay, like if we're gonna do top 8 of this, maybe do top 4 foil, top 8 non-foil, to make it a little bit more special.
That's fair. Yeah. I would have agreed with that.
Yeah.
Or yeah, maybe another promo or something, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, that's gonna be a little controversial when they do a miss on the picks, where okay, well, let's do Mirabelle as the main prize and Clarabelle as the top 8. Like if they miss like that, then we're gonna hear a lot from people. So I think the safer route would be non-foils and foils. But yeah, I don't really mind, because like you, I enjoy the competitive side of it. I just go for fun and like try to prove myself. I play all the time, you know?
Yeah, and shout out to like the LGSs that kind of give good secondary prizes too, because there's some places where you put up $20 to and they put that whole $20 back into the prize pool. So then people actually have something to compete, like for store credit.
Yeah.
I know some places they'll take it all for themselves, and
Yeah.
it's just the top prizing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to choose the right stores. I know there's definitely some stores around me that are good with that, and you see that people appreciate that because they get the biggest turnout.
Yeah. I think the rule should be like 10 pounds, 15 pounds, or that would be like 15, 20 bucks. We can treat it like a league night, plus the promos. But if you're going to charge more than that, then you should be putting either a box or a case. Because it's just fair like that. I also don't understand like why some of these LGSs just don't. I think it's a great opportunity to make extra money and do a shortcut, because instead of like, okay, here's the set champs, then here's the win a case, why don't just do it all in one go?
Right?
Because people are gonna go there for sure for set champs anyways.
Yeah, it's definitely like the biggest turn. Like people, they take time to actually go to these tournaments. They can't do it every single weekend. They have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
And there's also I don't like that some stores kind of keep it within themselves. So like they do it invite only, 8 people max.
Yeah.
And everyone there is going to get a promo, but you're not opening it up to a bigger community. Because I've definitely gone to places where I'm like, my main local right now, the first time I went there was through a set champs.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started going regularly. Like it's a missed opportunity for some of these places, but I guess they want to keep it within their circle.
You won't be able to imagine how many times I discussed this, and I finally stopped because like it always gets heated up on my chat, on my stream, that I call these places out and I call it gatekeeping, because it is gatekeeping.
Definitely, yeah.
There's no other word for it, and they defend them. Like well, there's some of the stores, they do it to protect their locals, and I'm like, you gotta understand, like some people can't go to the locals all the time because they have a job, they have a family. What if this dad or this mom, they can only take that off during that set champs because they saved themselves for that event. Right?
Oh yeah.
And now they can't go because it got gate capped by these LGS slash players who are salty about other players going into their set champs and stuff. And the way I look at it, if someone goes to my turf and tries to steal my promos and they succeed the first time, the second time I'm going to train much harder to make sure that they waste their money traveling all the way to my hometown,
right?
to try to take my. I love that, that type of like mentality. But like some people kind of like, they don't want to admit it, but they want a free handout.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Definitely. Yeah, like I know in my area, there's kind of like there's the stores that are a little bit more competitive. We do Swiss rounds for weekly league, but then there's this one store that is just like casual play, and that's the store that kind of gatekeeps, where like they'll keep it to their people that are just casually coming in, and I guess that's just where they don't want the champion of Toronto to come in and take their mat. But even though that
you
place
already
is
have
like
a golden Mickey, bro. Like, why do you want a Mirabelle from us?
I was like, I just want to compete, man, and it's close. Like this is the close, like one of the closest stores to me, and but it like I guess that's just what they do, and but like I see like some like. You don't get that experience too, right? Like if you want to face other strong competitors, you're not opening that up. You're just kind of keeping it to your small crew, and maybe that one person that always wins their set champs continues to always win too, but they're not learning themselves. If they go to a big tournament like the DLC. They're for a big awakening. Like there's bigger competition out there too.
Yeah, yeah, and I really hope that this top 8 thing is the solution for that. If they still gatekeep for that, that's just wrong. But like what I
Yeah.
said, there's only so much that we can do and control. Like I know this one store that I'm going to for set champs.
Mm.
The owner literally said, are you only coming here for set champs? Because the last set champs has pushed away some of our local players. And I'm just like,
Oh.
I think that as an owner of the LGS, it's your job as well to set good mentality for these people and explain to them the spirit of competition and why this is called set championship. It's not called league nights, right? There's a championship on the name, and that
Yeah.
changes the whole thing. But yeah, anyways, I don't personally think that we should be using this ultra megatonic time that I have left with you, with all these salty players and salty LGS owners, and talk about that more, because I have so many other ultra megatonic questions for you. Out of all the card games out there, why Lorcana? Like, what really pulled you into Lorcana?
I would say, okay, so I was looking for a physical TCG right at the time Lorcana was coming out. So that just like aligned perfectly.
Uh-huh.
It was something new, something where you can start from the bottom. You don't have to pick up a different card game that's been out for 10 plus years and learn everything,
Yeah.
learn all the text. Like you're starting at the basic text. So that's the biggest thing. It was new. And then the potential, like it's Disney. So, there's a lot of people that want to collect, play. Like there's a lot of potential for growth and like one of the card games I used to play, Hearthstone.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get in at the very beginning, and that's probably that's a big regret. I played near the beginning, but very casually. But I didn't get into like the competitive scene until later on.
Yeah.
And you start to when you're at the beginning, you kind of grow with everyone that's in there too.
Uh-huh.
I find near the later years in the game, everyone's good. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like big advantages you can take. There's already tons of data out there. People know what they're doing, so like there's a lot of good people out there already.
Mhm.
Right now, like you're growing with people, and if you are like one of the people ahead of the pack,
Yeah.
you can that's why there's people like consistently topping DLCs,
Yeah.
winning set champs, because there's skill involved. And once that like skill gap starts to catch up in the later years,
Yeah.
competition will be harder. But yeah, starting from the beginning is really good.
Yeah. I think right now, for those of you guys who wants to get in and become competitive, I think we still have probably one more year of this as a good way to like hop in. And it's you can always hop in, but it's like what Diego said, there's gonna be a gap that you have to catch up to after this first 2 years. There already is, but at least it's not as hard as it will be a couple years from now. But yeah, I totally feel you on that, because I have played multiple card games before, and I started like from the very beginning until the card game dies, because a lot of card games dies, and the big ones, I really didn't want to learn 10 million cards for Magic the Gathering. I played it for a few months, and I'm just like, okay, there's just so much catching up. Same with Pokemon, and Lorcana just has that. And I agree, like the IP is ultra megatonic for Lorcana, and it has a bright future. But really what like set it for me was the gameplay, because like at first I'm like, okay, how good can a Disney card game be? Right, like like the first time you would hear it, right? Like Disney is a kids IP mostly.
Yeah.
And when you hear about a card game from it, I'm thinking about like somewhere in the lines of Uno, like that level of like gameplay, right? But it's just so different. Did you feel that as well
Yeah.
when you played the game?
Yeah, definitely. And like it's very similar to how Hearthstone plays. So I was like already on board. Like I'm very familiar with that. And you can like there's a variety of decks. Like we look at each meta that's kind of happened. Besides like set 2, where it was just all red purple. But like set 3, set 4, there's a variety like of so many decks that could be at the top. So that's good on the designers too, right? They're able to balance it out.
Yeah.
And then if there is problematic cards, like they've shown that they're willing to do something like Bucky. And down the road, like yeah, there's a lot of potential. You kind of already see some cards and you're like, ooh, that could be good if there's a little bit more support.
Yeah.
For this, like you could have a whole new archetype. I'm waiting for that. I'm always trying new decks.
Oh baby.
I'm waiting for the day the mill deck is good to go. Something that can just like take your whole new world and put it on the top of your deck and ready to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm always cooking.
I'm excited for that. I myself as a deck maker as well. I've played 17 decks so far on set 5, and I was playing against Tim Schilder, the game dev manager for Lorcana, because he was in the DLC in Birmingham, and Sunday night when DLC was done, we were all hanging out, bunch of creators and game devs, and we were playing against each other. He actually beat me. My green purple deck was beaten by Bruno Madrigal and Merlin's Cottage.
Oh my god. Let's go.
And
Let's
he had
go.
a sorcerer.
That's what you love to see.
He had a sorcerer's hat before the Merlin's Cottage came out. And then he was like, okay, he wanted to proc with Bruno. So he actually memed on me with the sorcerer's hat, just so he can see what's on the top and then pull it with Bruno. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna use sorcerer's hat. And then the card that he named was Buzz Lightyear. I'm like, no way that I'm about to see the very first Pixar card in Disney Lorcana. And it turns out he was just memeing me. He was like, it was like, you can actually name whoever you want. You can even name a random Disney character that's not there, or just name a name, And I really thought that I was going to get it first. But yeah, he beat me, and it wasn't even close. And, we can only imagine in the future that Bruno Madrigal with like Merlin's Cottage like that could even get better, and like mill decks like which is sad. And so I asked, when are the pirates going to be good? Is it this set? Because there's a lot of pirates. He gave me a hint.
It has to be, right?
I'm not gonna say it on here, but he gave me a hint, and I'm only mentioning it because that shows you that there is a lot of attention that's being put into archetypes or sub archetypes that looks like it's gonna be a thing in the future, but it's not yet. But in time, it will be.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you love to see, right? Like, yeah, you get a glimmer of hope. Like pirates, we saw that one card that I forget how much it costs, but it just draws like multiple pirates.
Jim Hawkins 7 cost Amber.
Yes,
yeah,
that's the one. And I'm like, yeah, that could be good. That's what a pirate deck will need. You just need some early game. Like who knows? But
draw 3-4 pirates. That's a lot. That's basically Clarabelle on a pirate deck.
Yeah. It's the Amber's Clarabelle.
I'm super stoked for that. Now, in terms of the process of deck making, we're gonna get into more serious talks now, the competitive talks. In terms of deck making,
all right.
Do you have any specific process that you usually do?
You kind of just like, if you see some cards you like, you start to build around that. You put in your staples, right? and just make sure you have a curve, like make sure it works, right? And
Yeah.
uninkable count is definitely something you need to consider too. So like if I'm ever making a deck, I kind of just put four of, see where I'm at. If I'm at like 80 cards, okay, now I'm trying to cut. Oh, that doesn't actually need to be there, so you remove that completely.
Yeah.
So you kind of just like, yeah, you start from the ground up and then start shaving away.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you mean because I have made decks before with over 100 cards. Purple Steel is one of those decks that's super hard to like trim because there's just so many good cards on Purple
Oh,
Steel.
I know. You throw in all the bounce cards, like every single removal spell. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I could definitely see that. How
Um,
about what's your kind of process with that?
my process with the deck building was pretty much the same. I am very heavy on looking at the curve. So I decide after I take all the cards that I want, do I want to make this a control deck? Do I want to make it a mid-range deck, or do I want to go aggro? And then from there, I trim while looking at the curve. And this is how I came up with the. I'm not sure if you're familiar with my tempo tool deck with green purple that I made in set 5.
Oh yeah.
That deck, when I was making it, I was looking at the curve a lot, and that is how I ended up with, like, I wanted a bunch of tools on it, and that's how I ended up with a bunch of 1-ofs and 2-ofs. And people are like, this is so inconsistent. It's 1-ofs and 2-ofs. You see it winning a lot of like events. Like, it's not inconsistent at all, because the way I look at it is that if we're on 3-cost curve, I don't look at the 1-of Anna, 2-of Lyle, 1-of Kit Cloud Kicker. I look at it as I have 16 different tools on turn 3. And if I don't draw the best card for this, is the alternate choice really that bad? So I ask myself like those type of questions. But yeah, that's basically how
That's
I look
definitely.
at it.
Yeah, because you'd be like, yeah, I have 10-1 costs. Like any of them are good, right? Like, so that's what you kind of want. And if you're trying to get tech cards in there, you can kind of split them up too. They're better in different situations.
Yeah.
So like like I can see like that 1-ofs, 2-ofs are definitely good if you have similar cards to it too.
Yeah, but I'm definitely playing like a bunch of 4-ofs because like consistency with the 4-ofs is still a thing. But like what I said, like I've seen lists that has 4 Lyles and they're not finding success with it, and I'm like, okay, when do you actually want to see a hand where you have 3 Lyles or 4, even worse? Like, I'm happy with 2. I don't want to see anything more. With 1, it's a very sweet spot. If I get an extra 1, I'll probably be happy as well. Like that's like my way of thinking of it. I didn't specifically made it like 1-ofs or 2-ofs just so it will look unique, completely different from all of the green purple decks out there. I had a reason why, but yeah, I got a lot of crap for it in the beginning. But
I mean, like inkables too, right? Like you typically don't want to go all in on those if you can avoid it.
Yeah, and if you do, you gotta have a plan.
Like it's Diablo or something.
Yeah.
Like it's a busted card. You always want to see it.
Exactly.
Those are the cards you would keep.
So, with the talk of deck making, let's now get into set 5 talk. Set 4, Ultra Megatonic win with Lemon Lime, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna play Lemon Lime on set 5, or is there something else that you are cooking at the moment?
So, it's a trick question because I am playing Lemon Lime, but not the same deck that I've been playing. So I've been playing a green Fossa deck.
Oh,
It's spicy.
yes.
So it has Daisy, it has Piglet, it has Gaston for turn 3. And then on turn 4, we tap Gaston. Oh wait, no, sorry. On turn 3, we play 1-cost Clarabelle, tap Gaston, shift big Clarabelle on it. We're drawing our whole hand back. Or if
Oh,
we're not even looking for that,
yeah.
tap Gaston, play Perdita to bring back our Piglet or Daisy that died the turn before. You know,
Yes.
it's a good aggro deck with that is actually resilient. That has like a top end.
Yeah.
Like Perdita has 6 health, Clarabelle 6 health. So it doesn't just roll over to steel.
Yeah.
Like it has good game into green steel. And on the play, this deck is busted. Like it is absolutely busted. On the draw, it struggles, so that's where
Okay.
like there's some drawbacks, but we still have like tools to get back. There's Cloud Kicker to bounce back. Ursula 3s out there.
Yeah.
We have Rapunzel to draw a lot of cards. We have Cricky to get our board back. So if you're just stalling it out, you're putting like Daisy, another Daisy, and you're not even questing. There's a turn in the game where you can just play Cricky, take out their whole board. Now you can go quest and
Yeah. And
like
Daisy as a 4/4 is pretty scary for spending
right?
one on it. I call Cricket the Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
He's that good. Like I think it's one of the most underrated card in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Like quest for 3 too. Like and then we're still playing Mufasa and like you can roll getting when Mufasa gets banished, you get a Cricky.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Clarabelle, Perdita, and then there's still all those aggro cards.
Yeah.
I run Mother Gothel in it, the 2-cost one.
Yeah.
So if that dies and I have a Perdita,
Yep.
bring it back. Now I can bounce something back to their hand.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of tools to come back and even go long. It's great against Ruby Amethyst. Like you just play a turn floor Clarabelle if you want, and you're drawing so many cards. Even like a late game Clarabelle, it's just gas. Like they have to deal with so much of your board constantly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a good one.
So I played a pretty similar deck, a green Fossa as well, but not as
Yeah.
fast as yours. More like true mid range than a fast mid range. But I just love Mufasa when you have extra ink and it pulls like a Mother Gothel as well. You can actually spend those 3 extra ink on your opponent's turn and bounce it back, and the Annas as well. You can spend that extra 2 damage, two cost with the Anna, and then banish someone or discard.
Yeah, it just ruins their plan, right? Like they're not planning that.
Yeah,
So you'll just bounce something back. And you're like, oh, like okay, my turn's just ruined.
it's so cool. It's so cool. Like just imagine set 6. They revealed Gogo Tamago. Have you seen Gogo Tamago?
No, what's that one?
So 2 cost, evasive, 2/2 body, can quest for 1, but you can pay 2 extra and gain that many lore based on how much damage there is on a character. So here comes Maui, takes out Mufasa, 3 damage on Maui, and then here comes Gogo Tamago from it, and you're like 18, 17. Spend two inks, finish the game on your opponent's turn.
Yeah. That's an emerald card?
Yeah. This is what I love about Emerald. Like the flexibility, right? Like I love it. Yeah.
Oh man. I'm already cooking. Like
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Like if you're running Perdita too, just keep bringing it back.
Yeah. And it's evasive. It's a 2/2 evasive. And yeah. I think that decks like that, like with Mufasa and also with purple, obviously you can bounce it back, do it again, and yeah, you don't care about that Maui sitting there. Like if it's red purple, that's there, and you keep bouncing back this Go-Go Tamago and gaining
Oh my
lore from
God.
it. How do they deal with it? You don't exert, so Maui doesn't get banished. They have to be prepared
Yeah.
their own Maui.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a broken like goat,
Yeah,
right? Like you
it
just
is.
keep bouncing it back, gain 8 lore on a single bounce with snake. Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, but I'm super excited, and I'm so glad that you like when I ask you about like what deck are you playing, and you talk about like a green Fossa deck that has like a lot of aggro aspects to it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear, you know?
Right? Yeah. I definitely like playing decks that kind of just throw people off, and it's something that, you know, somebody's going to the set champs, they practice against red blue, amber steel, green steel, and
Yeah.
that's all they practice against.
Yeah.
And then they just get hit with this and like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Only like really, really good players can kind of adapt and figure out what's in your deck. It's not open deck list either, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it throws a curveball in there. The first set champs, the Stitch one.
Yep.
I was playing green purple, like control. Like it had Lyle's. This is set 3, so like this wasn't big back then.
Yeah.
So it had Lyle, had Elsa, like, and I did well. Like I won multiple Stitches and stuff. Like people just didn't know how to play against it. It did
Yeah.
well for me. And yeah, even for set 4, I was playing the lemon lime discard deck, but like early on.
Yeah.
So I mean I lost Bucky, and that was kind of
Everyone does.
Yeah, I know. Everything else was like nobody was expecting it, and yeah, like good thing I did play that at all my set champs. It gave me a lot of practice for Toronto too.
Yeah. The thing about Bucky is there's no like, okay, we don't build for anything. We just discard anyone. We don't really care what you play. We're just gonna discard your whole hand, right? It's
Exactly.
like different from the discard of like lemon lime, where in my opinion, I tell this to my stream. I'm not just saying this to kiss your booty right now because you're an ultra megatonic lemon lime sing together player. But I say that this type of discard requires skill. It's not one of those things where, oh, here's a discard card. I'm gonna go take out your whole hand that you spent $500 with. It doesn't happen like that. If you just keep doing that, next thing you know, you look at the board. Oh crap! Now they're drawing with their rabbits or with their other cards, and I actually don't have anything on my board to survive.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of strategy involved, and in the deck there's 12 cards that can see your hand, like the other opponent's hand, and that plays a lot into it, right? Like you're constantly thinking, oh, what's their next move? What's their move after that?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, how do I make awkwardly have 2 cards in hand within 2 turns so I can just you've forgotten me their last 2 cards, and then they're done from there. So like there's a lot of planning involved, and a lot of also just like lines you can take. If you have muses down, you have to bounce back your aerial or bounce back their cards that possibly discard that. There's so many different ways you can take it.
Yeah.
It's complicated deck, and I know a lot of people went in set 4, they picked it up.
Yeah.
They play it for a few games, and they're like, no, this deck sucks. Like I don't know. It's like they just do bad with it, but you get rewarded. Like decks like that, you just need to play multiple times. You need to get a lot of reps in, and you'll eventually figure out kind of different lines you can take in every scenario.
Yeah, I think this is a common trend within people that net decks, and I have not I don't have anything against people that net decks, because a lot of my viewers net deck my decks, and they try to like make it into their own. But come set 5, I kind of stepped away from Ruby Amethyst that I played for multiple sets now. I've been playing a lot of mid-range deck, and the thing about mid-range in general, just like green purple, just like lemon lime sing together, it's just really hard to pilot. Mid range is just super hard to pilot. That's it. It's so flexible. There's so many lines you
Mhm.
can take. If you're against control, obviously, like you try to play a little faster on some, but that's not always the line as well to just like win it. And one mistake can basically cost you the game.
Yeah.
With these type of decks, and because people are seeing a lot of success with these decks, they think that, oh, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna find the same success, and
Yeah.
they don't. They
No, I
they don't.
know.
Yeah,
And yeah, like you said, like one mistake can cause it for you, and that's where having so many reps helps because you might have did that already. Like you play a game, you do that one mistake, and you're like, "Oh my God, that cost me the game." But next time you won't do that ever again.
yeah,
So you kind of just it's good to learn from your mistakes. I know some people are like big into theory and that's how they learn, but like the best how I learn and it's just getting a ton of reps. It's just like anything else. Just practice is key and
yeah,
eventually it's just becomes second nature to you where you know what to do and
yeah.
you can just be confident, right?
Having theory is nice, but at the end of the day, you need, like what you said, you need those reps. You just need the numbers. You need to put in the numbers into that deck. So, because the thing about our brain, it's a muscle, right? And muscle memory is a thing for our brain as well. And if we're not working out with those muscles, then number one, it will take you longer to think about it. Number two, your brain doesn't memorize that exact scenario that you were in, and you might choose the wrong decision and one mistake, and you're done. Today, I was playing Amber Amethyst Mufasa, and I made a mistake on turn 3. I knew right away. I told my chat like, okay, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I knew right away that I'm most likely gonna lose after turn 3, and it doesn't matter what happens like moving forward. There is a way to like come back, but I'm a mid-range deck and I'm facing a control deck. I lost the driver's seat as early as turn 3. That's just so bad.
Yeah.
Like me playing catch up defensive against the defensive deck. Like yeah. But I want to do some fun segments with you that I usually do with our
Sure.
guest in the show, and this one is called the Band of Cards segment. You have 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. So here are the rules. You have 10 seconds to answer, and this is not something serious. This is, you can even name a card that you just hate so much, even if it's not being played, you know. But you have to choose a card for every ink. I will name an ink. You have 10 seconds to pick it. We're not gonna discuss right away why you picked it, but towards the end, once we finish all the inks, we can start talking about it.
All right, let's do it. I already have my list. I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right. So number 1, Amber, 10 seconds, go.
Rapunzel.
Number 2, Amethyst, 10 seconds.
Fox.
Number 3, Emerald.
Prince John.
Ruby.
Be prepared.
Sapphire.
Hiram.
Steel.
A Whole New World.
Whole New World. Okay. Those are some pretty I wouldn't say decent, but spot on answer, like what everyone would ban.
Yeah. And like my reasoning is just the best card or like one of the top 3 cards of each color.
Yeah.
And then once those cards are gone, that opens up a whole new playing field.
That's true.
And I feel like maybe some colors might need to get hit with 2, but yeah, like I would love to see just those cards kind of just get banned, and we'll see new decks, right?
Yeah.
Like we won't see the same old stuff that we are so used to.
I think be prepared is a necessary evil, though. for control at least.
Yeah, I'm just biased. I'm like that. I've always hated Be Prepared. I've never been a Ruby player.
Yeah.
And once Ursula the 2 cost came out, I'm like, oh my god, my answers, like my
Yeah.
prayers have been answered. Like this is the card to stop getting be prepped
I,
all the time.
I was playing that Amber Amethyst deck today, and I have an indirect answer to be prep. It's just that
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna draw 10 million cards that I don't care if I dump and overextend. You can be
Yeah.
prep me. I will dump and overextend again.
okay, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do with my Green Faucet deck, where it just Clarabelle, just like, oh, draw a new hand. All right, kill
Yeah.
it. Okay, new Clarabelle.
Yeah, here's another
Yeah.
Clarabelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of the. I personally think that every card game needs like a card like like that. Maybe 7 song can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Like it might not be dangerous right now because like most of the time we're hard casting it, right? Very rare that Tamatoa would sing that or a big character would sing that. But once we get to these like really, really good 7-cost cards or things that can sing 7-cost songs, that's when Be Prepared becomes really, really scary. And hopefully they don't do that.
Yeah. Anything like something where if you had like an item, I don't know, so where your board isn't getting banished as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it could definitely get scary.
Yeah. I hope that
but
they
I
don't.
might take back my answer and actually choose Medusa.
Yeah.
Because there's no more dies to Medusa, you know.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll switch. I'm choosing Medusa.
So we have 2 memes in my chat on my stream. Number 1 is this is during the 2 memes is during a card reveal season. We either have the comment of it dies to Medusa, and oh boy, Brendan DeCandio hates my chat when that happens. It's like if I hear one more dies to Medusa, I'm gonna throw a fit. But yeah, so that's the number 1 meme is it dies to Medusa, and I got fed up with it as well. I'm like, it doesn't mean it dies to Medusa, we can't play it anymore. There's a lot of cards that dies to Medusa, we're still playing it, right? But another thing is the art is pretty nice though. That's like a copy paste there. Like when a card shows up, it's like okay, like that card is really reversed. Instead of saying that mean things to it, we always say that the card is pretty nice though. Like it's a copy paste for us.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do another segment here, and this will be our last segment for the interview. And hopefully we get a part 2 of this when Diego is crowned as the world champion for Lorcana. That would be very, very exciting. This next segment is called the favorite card segment. It's also a 10-second segment where I will name something and then you choose your favorite card. There will be 5 questions for this, and this is just to get to know you a little bit more. And well, we're gonna start with your favorite character to play.
Favorite character to play? Prince John.
Prince John. Okay. All right. You wanted to ban that.
I did. It's one of those like evils. It's when you play it, the other person's like, "Oh my god, it's Prince John!" Like you're playing discard. It kind of gives that. That's my like a fear, but at the same time, like I know I'm playing this broken card that you probably can't deal with. You just need like grab your swords. That's it, and I'm probably gonna discard your hand.
Yeah.
So,
let me take out that grab your sword while I'm at it. The next one is your favorite character art, not including enchanteds.
Oh, because enchanteds are nice. Like if I had to choose one, it is a tough one. I'm trying to think of art. Uh, okay, if we're thinking solely art, it's a cliche answer. The Winnie the Pooh wizard. Like
Yeah.
if it's just a a
It's just a
classic.
really really like good art, right? It's such a
Yeah, yeah,
shame that the card is the art is pretty nice though.
yeah. I know.
It's one of those.
Hey,
It's one of
hey,
those.
like I've heard people try to fit Winnie the Pooh in a deck in the Amber Amethyst Mufasa deck.
Yeah.
It could potentially fit there. 5/5 stats
That's pretty
in
pretty
today's
scary.
economy. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean
But
we've seen the heart the soldier art heart what do you call that you know the card
oh, card soldiers,
yeah,
something like
card
that.
soldier, something like that.
Yeah,
We've seen it played in the Amber Ruby location decks. So
right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so,
With just in time. Yeah,
yeah,
it's one of those things where that's just the best 5 cost option. But
yeah.
um, yeah,
Thing about those decks
solid.
though, once you find out about it, once it gets its like clout, everyone knows exactly how to play with it, and then it turns into like it's not the best anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah, exactly.
it has those moments. It has those moments where you just catch people off guard, and then you top a tournament with it. And
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
the next one is favorite enchanted card.
Okay, favorite enchanted. Probably would have to go.
You can't choose your golden Mickey. That's it.
Oh, no, Golden. Okay, probably the Mufasa, the newest Mufasa
Oh
from
yes.
set 5.
Yeah.
That one, that's clean. Like it's just like I don't know, something about it. It's just this is you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's the chase card of the set,
Yeah.
definitely. And yeah,
Um,
and I think it is probably the most expensive. I think from the set too.
yeah. I'm so glad that it came out for set 5 because the set 5 has the full art feel into
Yeah,
yeah. It's kind of
yeah,
hard to beat
yeah,
compared to the other sets, in my opinion, at least. Yeah.
yeah. I really like the art from the latest set. And when I won Toronto, I was expecting the full binder of set 4,
Yeah.
but
They give you set
they
5?
gave me set 5. Yeah, they
Oh,
gave me set 5, and I was like, oh my god, this is like perfect. I don't have
uh,
to like collect any of these cards anymore. And yeah,
and the thing too
and
is you haven't played set 5 during that time, and then
no,
seeing that
like it
is
was
just
brand new, and I'm not selling either. Like this is for the collection,
yeah,
and each card they give, I think they take like extra care because I looked at each one and it is all they look clean. Like the corners are perfect. Yeah,
yeah.
they would get like 10s if I would to grade them.
I noticed that as well during set champs for creators.
Oh yeah,
The card is extra
extra
cleaner.
nice. Yeah.
That this is why like when I got this on the top 4 for the first set champs
Oh,
on
nice.
set 4
Yeah.
when I got this I'm like yeah that's gonna get a 10. I'm sending that
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, like so many of the set champ cards that I got from Stitch and Ursula,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, these are lucky to get like an 8 or a 9. Like the corners are kind of there's foiling issues,
yeah.
a lot of curve, but yeah, if you get that 10, that nice one, yeah, definitely grade that.
I also like talk to like the Ravensburger people as a creator, and you know a lot of like cool chats happen here and there. And one of the things that they said like when they were making the golden Mickeys, a lot of the golden Mickeys were like thrashed. They wanted
Yeah,
to make sure that the golden Mickey that you will get is
yeah,
premium golden Mickey. So I can't imagine like someone getting a 9 on those Mickeys because they are just so careful with like choosing them. It's got to be the owner's fault, most likely, if
yeah,
if it ever becomes a 9.
yeah. Like I don't think I've ever seen one that looked remotely off. Like they're all pretty clean, and they were numbered to 500, right? Like they had a lot to choose from, and how many people are going to get them? Like less than 100. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of choices they had.
Yeah. The process that goes into that is premium, and I'm so happy that they do it like that.
Hmm.
Now, my next question for the 10-second segment is your favorite song, song card, whether it's just the favorite song that you like from Disney, or maybe you like
Yeah.
playing it, or maybe you just like the art. Your choice.
I like Bippity Boppity Boo. It's just like honestly, I didn't really know that song before.
Yeah.
And then like I listened it to after, and I'm like, this is fun to say.
Yeah.
Like Bippity Boppity Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like what it does. I don't like I haven't really like experimented with it that much on a bunch of my decks, but what it does is just so much fun and can be really really good on very specific decks.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like in set 3, I was playing green purple with 3-cost Ursula, and
Yeah.
I also had Lucifer in the deck. So I would sing Bippity Boppity Boo. Like I'd play Lucifer, sing Bippity Boppity Boo, and I'm now discarding 6 cards from their hand
Oh, that is
just
just
because
so nasty.
you're just playing it. Like it goes back to your hand. Play it again. Yeah, it's
So mean.
gross.
So mean.
So mean. So mean.
The last question that I have is your favorite item. It's the same thing as the song, whether it's the favorite item for the art to play, or maybe it's from a memory from a movie.
Favorite item. Just I guess really it's just gameplay. That would be. Probably just popsicle. Just play one, draw. Like it's
It just
yeah.
feels good when you see it in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh yeah, this is a solid card that will definitely be broken by Hiram to get me insane value.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah.
that used to be my answer for every time like I talk about this, but Emerald Chromicon just took my heart this set. I love Emerald Chromicon.
That is a good item. Like if it wasn't uninkable, I like could definitely fit in more.
Yeah.
But even like it's such a you make people play so awkwardly
Yeah.
that like they don't play their normal game plan.
Yeah.
That's a solid card.
The amount of games that I won with that card, and it's a one of in my decks. On my green decks, it's always a one of, and it's like what you said. It just changes the way they play. They can no longer play the game normally.
Yeah,
and they're more prone to mistakes when
yes,
when
definitely.
they play it. Yeah.
And
yeah. Go ahead.
oh yeah. It's very similar to like what the lemon lime discard deck does. Is just you got to make them play awkward and make them play off curve, and that's exactly what Chromicon does.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that would be it for us tonight. I held you here a little too long already, but I just want to first of all, I just want to thank you for putting up with all the rescheduling because of all these technical difficulties. And I had so much fun talking to you. You're such a nice guy, smart person, and fun as well. Like the thing is, like sometimes fun and smart doesn't go together. But I really enjoyed this interview, and I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to do this with you. Before we leave, is there, first of all, before I ask what you want to say for our audience tonight, I just want to remind you guys, link down below on my description. Check out everything that has to do with Diego, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever he wants to promote is going to be down there. So make sure to check that out, and you'll never know. maybe Diego will start putting out some links as well for some coaching in the future. And if you want to learn from the master himself, that would be the link to click. So make sure to check that out. Diego, is there anything you want to tell our audience for tonight?
No, yeah, like I appreciate you having me here. It's been a blast. This is really awesome. Like I'm looking forward to when I win the next big competition and I'm on here getting interviewed again. This was amazing.
Let's go.
Yeah, and just like shout out to just I don't even know who to shout out. Sorry, shout out to like my testing groups that I have. If you need to reach out to me for coaching, like you said, just reach out to me on Twitter. Level 9001 on Twitter. That is my tag that I've been known online for. Just reach out to me. I'll do coaching.
Link.
I love like if you're looking to just try a new deck, and that's something that could catch people off guard, and that's good. That's the deck that I'm working on. And so if you need coaching on like I just want to try something new and like show up to my locals, talk to me. I'll get you all set up and ready to go. Win your locals with this off meta deck that they'll just be like, oh my god. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, just reach out to me on Twitter. And I'll start to do more coaching soon for sure.
Awesome. That sounds very exciting. Well, again, thank you very much. One more time, everyone, link on the description below. Make sure to check out Diego's link. Get on that now before we end this. Other than that, thank you everyone for always supporting the channel and watching these episodes with these amazing guests that we've been having on our podcast. And yeah, good luck on the next one, Diego. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.
Peace.